that her ministry has appointed 2 assistant RDCs per district and per city, about 300 of them. Right, Honorable Speaker, we would like to be kept in the loop to understand a couple of things. One, government has been pushing us on rationalization, saying we need to rationalize entities, send them back to the ministries so that we can save taxpayers' money, so that we can cut down on government expenditure. And that justification makes sense. But as we are doing that, Right Honorable Speaker, we are then seeing...
What is the order for?
Madam Speaker, this regime is for the National Resistance Movement. And I think the National Unity Platform should allow the National Resistance Movement to organize government. Madam Speaker, this helps us to understand.
You can't have an order on order.
Madam Speaker,
finish him to finish his order. Why don't we get civilized, for heaven's sake?
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for your wise words of wisdom. Civilization is key in political leadership. And really, opposition should leave the ruling government to organize its system. Because if we don't have a proper system running a country, we shall not have effective service delivery. I therefore don't know whether the leader of opposition is in order to bring such an issue when we have very many burning issues for this country. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would actually request that we first understand what he says, what he wants to say. Then we make a pronouncement on that. If it is in line with what Honorable Macho is saying, I will still give a ruling to that effect. So let's first get here what the leader of opposition.
About our roles, the role of the leader of the opposition is to keep the government in check. I just thought I should educate my colleague. Back to the issue I was raising, Right Honorable Speaker. Government has been pushing us to rationalize. The justification being to cut down on government expenditure. And like I was saying, that's a compelling argument. But while we are rationalizing to save taxpayers' money, to cut down on government expenditure, here then comes another huge government expenditure that we need to understand, because you cannot preach water and then drink wine. What do I mean? You cannot say, let's rationalize, let's cut down on government expenditure. In the same breath, you are bringing in new people within the system that have got to be paid by the taxpayer. What sense does it make, Right Honorable Speaker? What role are the assistant RDCs going to play that RDCs and deputy RDCs cannot play? We need to have a good understanding of that, Right Honorable Speaker. The Minister for the Presidency has said in her communication that the assistant RDCs are going to play 3 roles. Number 1 is to promote patriotism. Number 2 is to carry out mobilization. And number 3, to fight corruption. We need to be helped to understand whether now assistant RDCs are taking over the work of the Inspectorate of Government, because there seems to be a lot of duplication. Also, if you're saying they are meant to carry out mobilization, for what exactly? Is it mobilization for the NRM, mobilization for Parliament, mobilization for what exactly? This needs to be broken down. And finally, Right Honorable Speaker, when you read Section 70 of the Local Governments Act, it provides for the caliber of people that should be appointed RDC. That's the legal provision. But by extension, we can cascade that down to anybody occupying or within the office of the RDC. Section 70 provides that these are meant to be people of high moral integrity. People whose conduct is not questionable. One of the people that have been appointed to this position, which we are yet to fully understand as assistant RDC, is Ewaniga Kisakyamukama. This person has been posted as assistant RDC to Gomba district. Honorable Speaker, in 2021, videos made rounds of this person.
Honorable, just a minute. But I want to ask the government chief whip we have so many ministers under that docket. I don't want him to involve himself. Let him call for us, the minister involved. Because you're going to repeat the same thing. You're going to repeat You're going to repeat the same thing. You wait and you bring it as.
Raising this matter where he's seeking clarity. And he states in clear terms that his role is to keep the government in check. But our role in government is also to sustain our stay through the support of the people of Uganda. That said, Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to request your chair to give time to the Minister for the Presidency to come and provide clarification on the appointment of the Assistant Resident District Commissioners and Assistant Resident City Commissioners, their roles and responsibilities, and why the National Resistance Movement government thought it wise that we need to empower more those offices that do exist in our districts and in our cities. I beg to request that you give our time, and in the circumstances, we could proceed with the items on the order paper. If that pleases you, you could give the appropriate time for her to come and explain. Thank you.
And approve the budget. Approve these items. Because I remember in this budget, we approved money for assistant RDCs. We approved it in the budget, and the minister has taken action. And then we come back, no, this financial year where we are, which is ending in June, yes, and then the government takes action. And then you come back as if you are not involved. You were involved in approving this position.
Let's get a report to that effect, Honorable. Is who just gone rampage, like the one of, I don't want to mention the name. Do you bring in those kind of RDCs and that kind of thing? So let's get a paper to that effect. Get a paper to that effect. If we approved the money and the criteria and yes.
Civil servants and public officers, they need serious scrutiny and to go through the process. Now, if you look through, even in the qualifications, there's no specific qualification for an RDC. And that, of course, leaves it hanging for anyone. Yes, I'm saying it's up to us now. It's part of what we should focus on, to develop some of those roles that govern the process of even appointing RDCs. You should be.
Honorable members, yes. I have already made a ruling to that, and this is the criteria, and these are the requirements of a person. You cannot pick somebody just from nowhere to come and claim to be an RDC when a person has a bad track record. So these people, they must do a due diligence on that.
Olunaku lwa leero nina ensonga gye neemulugunyizaako mu Parliament. Minister owa Presidency ow'ekitiibwa Milly Babalanda yagenze n'afulumya communication nti baawadde emirimu abantu 3 be baayise ba assistant RDCs. Kakati ffe tugamba ensonga eyo yazze etya, kubanga already tulina ba RDCs, tulina ba deputy RDCs buli district. Abantu abo bangi already era n'emirimu gye bakola tegitegeerekeka. Oluusi obasanga ku zi political talk shows nga bali eyo bakubira akadingidi NRM, juzi abamu babadde be batambuza registers za NRM kuganja emirimu gye basinga okukola RDC ne deputy RDCs. Kakati oyongeddeko abantu 2 mu buli district boyise assistant RDCs. Bagenda kukola ki? Yatugambye nti abantu abo okusookera ddala bagenda kukola mirimu gya patriotism, bagenda kukola mobilization, then n'okulwanyiza obuli bw'enguzi. Kati twebuuza mobilization yaki eyo ya NRM yaki, kubanga abantu bano bagenda sasulibwa sente ya muwomusolo. Tebayinza kubanga bakola mirimu gya NRM ate nga basasulibwa sente ya muwomusolo nga civil servant. Ekyo tekikirizibwa ne mateeka. Era mulaba n'abantu be balonze bakaada abana ba NRM babeera ku zi radio station nakinga bakubira NRM ekikopo mubafuule ba volunteers ku kitebe kyamwe kya NRM. Naye kakati mbatadde mu structures za civil servants tekitegeerekeka era nga tekikirizibwa. Era government eze tukakasa wano mu parliament nti ensonga ya rationalization ebitongole bino ebisinga tubigalewo tubize mu ministries gye biva kulwaki okendeeza ku nkozesa era n'ensaasanya ssente y'omusolo kakati oli mutugamba oyagala kendeeza ensaasanya eyo ate mu bufu bwe bumu otaddewo ebifo ebiyitirivu ebifo 3 abantu abalina okufuna omusaala buli omu balina n'okufuna amamotoka nga bwe tulaba bakolera ba RDC ne ba deputy buli omu ne bamuwa pick up truck naki kati oba obuzaabuza bannayuganda ekitegeeza tuli serious ku nsonga zino. Museveni yatugamba dda ng'eggwanga nti kusookera ddala kabineeti ye y'abavubi n'abantu be bayingiza tebabifaako nnyo oba oli yasiiwukadde empisa oba oli akwata abaana ku kyalo abba enkoko z'abantu naki mujja basanga nga bali mu system eza gavumenti naye ffe kitukakatako okuva ne tugamba nti kikyamu wakiri kibeere ku record era n'abantu bano be bateekamu tebateekamu nti balina ekyamaanyi ennyo kye bagenda okugatta ku ggwanga lyaffe bano ba mobilizers aba NRM aba M7 era kyovudula ababateeka mu system era abasinga abatadde mu districts either ze bagenda okwesimba obanga babaka oba gye bazze bakolera emirimu